keep these wheels in motion. In motion. And it's worse you for what I did not know. Did you think I would let it go? Oh no. And in time, yes, I'll think it's absurd, but until then you'll leave your words. Play on, play on. Now it's time to defend your lies. Lies you've been feeding me all this time. And will you reoffend? Oh darling, you say that you are innocent, but your words, they seem irrelevant, but still play on. Now it's time to defend your lies. Lies you've been feeding me all this time. And will you reoffend? Oh darling, oh you have reached your lover's end. No way will we make pretend like we something to fight for. Oh. We had nothing to fight for. 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 someday we'll find what we're looking for. Till then, you'll still be a boy. Don't tell me who I have become. Don't tell me who I have become. I remember what you'd say. We're all looking to be loved. And somehow, someday, we'll find what we're looking for. Until then, we will all be yours. We'll all be yours. We'll all be yours. Don't tell me who I have become.
Good evening, race fans, and a happy new year to you all. That's it, we're back. We're back for 2024. Loads and loads of great stuff happening in this brand new year. But first up, it's the Full Throttle Racing BTCC League. And we start with rounds 1, 2 and 3 at the Glen, Watkins Glen in New York City, baby. And I'll tell you what, these cars are looking good. The drivers are already looking hot. Really looking forward to this brand new season. There's some other great stuff coming up, but we'll talk about that later, because tonight's all about what's going on here this evening. It's Watkins Glen. It's rounds 1, 2 and 3, full GP layout, 3.37 miles, 11 corners. There's not 11 corners. I'll explain why in a minute, because if you don't brake for it, it's not a freaking corner. But 11 corners, and it'll be 8 glorious laps, about 15 minutes a race. This is how the format's going to work. We're going to start with a 10-minute qualifying session, which will set the grid for race number 1 in these touring cars. Then that will set the grid, the result of race 1, of course, will set the grid for race number 2. And a reverse grid for race number 3, all 3 races being 8 laps. And at the end, we will hold one aloft as the overall champion of the day. But really looking forward to this, because there's some good cars, there's some good solid drivers as well. Shall we have a look at the lineup? So this is the official lineup for the season. In the Power Maxed Megastra, that's the awesome Renault Megane Trophy. We've got Ash Sharp, and Adam Piper. In the 2023 Napa Focus ST, that's the brilliant Ford Focus. We've got Jordan Harding and Neil Creed. The BMW first car, that's the M2, Ethan Graham and Liam New. The Rich Energy FK8 Civic, that's with Rob Schaller, Liam McEwen and Darren Freeman. Three drivers running in that particular car. The Sicily A-Class, that's the AMG Mercedes with Panos. I'm not even going to try that. Theo something and Aaron Riley. God's gift, John. That's what else he's known at. Simpson Halford FK Civic. That's the other Honda Civic out there today. That's Stuart Bell, Mark Thompson running in that, and Team Hard Golf with John Thompson. I'm assuming he's not called that because he's a big penis, and Gary Pointer in that number 22 car. Two of those Civics out there. It'd be interesting to see how the different teams have gone about getting those cars set up and ready to go. Ready to start in a couple of minutes. I think we should wait for everyone else to jump in. But there we go. That's the grid. So Watkins Glen is where we are this evening. It is nearly 3.5 miles long, 5.5 kilometres for those of you who are fully out in the metric system. 11 turns. Trickiest part of the circuit for me, it's the toe and boot section. So you come through turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. So turn 3 and 4 completely flat out all the way up the road. Then you've got the back straight taking you down to the inner and outer loop little chicane. That chicane was actually put in quite a few years ago because of how many accidents there were going into turn 5 essentially. Then you go into shoot and a bit of the boot. We are waiting for a late arrival, which has been informed, which is why I'm just going to talk through it. Turn 6, not turn 6, it's turn 4, because you go flat out through 3 and 4. That takes you into toe, the boot, and then down to turn 8 or 6, whichever way you're looking at it, which is the heel. Tricky section. The trickiest thing actually about Watkins Glen is how hard it is to overtake on this circuit. It's really, really difficult to find any other line other than the racing line. There is a couple of opportunities if you can catch someone out coming through that inner loop, outer loop chicane. There is a possibility going around the outer loop. You can make a move around the outside, or possibly duck up the inside if you come out quick enough. And also in the chute, there's an opportunity there. Turn 1, always good, because it's about braking. You've got that long run down from the final corner, which takes you down past the pit straight. That's probably going to be your best opportunities for an overtake. If I sound puzzled, it's because my missus is coming back from shopping with what appears to be Christmas stuff. And I'm not sure if anyone told her, but Christmas finished about a week ago. So yeah, that's why I sounded really confusing. No other reason other than that. So we're just waiting for one latecomer, I think, and then I think we're going to be ready to go. Just having a look through the field to see who is actually here this evening. The original John in the Golf GTI, in that AMG Mercedes, is Panos, or God give John, Graham in the M2, Civic Type R is Groot, Mego Regan, the Renault Megane, Adam, the other M2 driver is Evil Dragon, another Civic driver is Liam, Harding in the Focus ST, Riley in that AMG A45, Renault Megane Trophy for St Dash, our glorious host this evening. Creed is in that Focus ST. Gav Monkey in the Golf. Captain Slow in the Civic. I think we'll wait for one more to jump in. I don't know if he's ready quite yet. I'm hoping he's coming very soon. So it's going to be quite an interesting race because it's the first races of a new season with a new format. The format is as such. Let's tell you what the cars set up are. It is 320 horsepower for the front wheel drive cars. Slight drop is a 310 for the A-Class, and that's because it's got a 4-wheel drive advantage over those front wheel drive cars. Weight is limited to 1,200 kilos. Wide body cars with full aero, full setup, no nitrous obviously, racing soft tyres with no tyre or fuel wear this evening. The drivers, over the course of the 3 races, the drivers must use in one of those races the medium compound tyre. Now, I think it's down to how you qualify as to when you opt to use that. I think if you have a poor qualification session and you're drifting around the back, it might be worthwhile using your medium tyres early, getting them out of the way in the first race, getting them done and dusted, leaving you just the soft tyres for race 2 and ultimately race 3. The other alternative, of course, is possibly if you have a bad race number 1, to use the medium tyres on race number 2, because it doesn't matter so much if you're drifting around the back, because you do get the reverse grid for race number 3. So it's about tactical use of those medium compound tyres. Do you get them out of the way nice and early, or do you risk it on the soft tyres early doors, knowing that at some point you're going to have to run those medium tyres for an 8-lap race? We'll have a look throughout the race. We'll have a look at tactics and see who's opting for what, and see if we can remember who's actually run the task and who hasn't. I could put down a piece of paper and write it down, couldn't I? But that would involve some level of professionalism that is way beyond my capability or care, to be honest. We're starting in about a minute's time, just waiting. I think we're still waiting for one more to arrive, which is why we're a little bit late starting with qualifying. That gives us a quick minute to talk about stuff that's coming up very soon on Black Flag Racing TV. Black Flag itself, we're starting a new competition this Sunday. It's called War, and it's quite a simple format. Teams of 3, 1 in a GR4, 2 in a GR3 cars. The aim of the game is to get your GR4 car home safely. The GR3 cars on the same team, it is no holds barred. You can take out the other cars, you can block to save your own car, whatever you need to do. It's complete out and out war. And then, of course, on Monday we'll be announcing the new series of GT Alphas for 2024. More details will be coming about that soon. We are about to begin qualifying, so we will, without further ado, dive straight into that. Get everything set up. Right, who's going to be first to dive out of the pits? I'm expecting qualifying times to be somewhere around the high 52s, low 53s, certainly for the top end of the field. Whether or not everybody can get those sort of times, we don't know yet, but I think that's the sort of time we should be expecting. Mid to high 52. I think if you get 52 mid in these cars, then you are pretty much a shoo-in for certainly the front couple of rows, but we don't know that someone might have something in the bag. Someone might be able to get something special out of these cars. Panos goes out first. He's looking to put the first time. I'll say he's going out first, but apparently not. Evil Dragon leads. No, he doesn't. It is Panos out first. No, it's Groot. Groot is out in front. We'll do the hot lap on board with Groot in that Honda Civic. These are these are not race cars. These are road cars tuned for racing, as we have in the British Touring Car Championship. As you know, it's very much about the hot hatchbacks and getting those tuned up to racing spec for, racing. Nice to see that there is a representative from our partners at Team Hard out there today. We did a few bits with Team Hard last year here on Black Flag Racing TV, and hopefully more to come this year. So Groot will be setting the first hot lap. We'll go on board with Groot. In fact, we'll go on board with him now, because it won't be long before he disappears round that final corner. This is where you're setting yourself up for your hot lap. You want to stay wide to this right hand side, scrub off some speed, but not lose enough to lose momentum. You've got your braking zone into the final corner here. Loads of road to use on the exit. You can go right out to that wall. You get on the power at that go bowling sign and fire down the left hand side, heading towards turn 1, up through the gears. Rev it out as much as you can in 5th gear before you drop down a couple of gears into 3rd, get it turned in nice and early. You can use loads of the road here. As long as you keep all of that within those white lines, you're absolutely fine. Flicking it round, and it is full power all the way up the hill. This is through turns 3 and 4, heading up towards the inner loop chicane. Again, little flick to the right hand side, full power up the hill. Slipstream, very, very powerful on this part of the circuit. Up to the chicane we come. It's a very, very, very light touch of the brake. Don't even really have to drop gears if you're brave. He has opted to go down to 4th, and you can flick it through that chicane and come out at quite high speed round this big sweeping right-hander, which is a good overtaking opportunity if the car in front of you doesn't get such a great exit out of the chicane and you happen to have burned through that in top gear. Sweeping round to the left-hand side before we head down to the hairpin at the bottom of this hill, and the road kind of pulls off to the left before it swings round wildly back on itself to the right-hand side. Nice, take apex nice and early, and you can power out through that corner, through that penalty line. You do not want to be getting a penalty here. Half a second will cost you about a second to 1.2 seconds in time. Big braking zone here for this final part of the boot. That's the heel, and you head up back towards the top of the boot with a left-hander here, which is down in 2nd gear and seems to take forever almost to get round that corner. Be careful on the exit, there's a lot of wall there and it really can damage your lap time, just even scraping that wall. Penultimate corner, again just scrubbing off the speed to get the rotation before you power down, hard on those brakes to get it turned in. Use the pit lane entry out to the go bowling sign, and then foot flat on the floor, which will take you across the line for your first hot lap there. And that puts Groot immediately on pole. Quickly loses that though, 1.7 seconds faster. Liam was 1:52.9, and I said he was going to be mid 52s, mid 52 that would put it into pole, but Graham has done better than that. He's got a 52.2, low 152s, and Graham takes a significant pole, 7/10 up from Liam with that 52.9. Harding with a 53.1. So only those two, Graham and Liam, have managed to dip into those high to low 52s as it happens. Harding is 2/10 back on road 2 at the moment with Evil Dragon. 2/10 behind him with a 53.3, but he is improved. He's slightly up on his previous lap time. Adam with a 53.6, about 3/10 behind, and another 2.5 to the original John in that Volkswagen Golf with a 53.8. Gaz Monkey, the first of the 154 runners, he's also in that Volkswagen Golf. So there is some time in that car still, definitely some time left in that car. 10.5 to Groot, running in 8th position. He's got a great giving a great load of slipstream there to Panos, who's tucked in nicely behind the back of that Honda Civic, goes wide and gets himself out of the slipstreams as Panos, trying to find a way round the outside. He's clearly quicker in that AMG at the moment, but can't find a way through, and of course no overtaking during qualifying. 154.9 for him. Now we're into the very high 54s, 54.9 for Riley, 55.1 for Creed. We've got St Dash with a 59.9, not a great first lap for him. There's certainly more time to be had for him. And Captain Slow yet to set a hot lap. He's on that hot lap now. Graham still holding pole. Will he still hold it when they cross the line for this second qualifying lap? We are just over halfway through this qualifying session here, so chance for another couple of laps for them. Can't improve on his time with a 52.268, but does still hold pole, but only by 0.4 of a second as Harding puts in a 52.5 in that Ford Focus ST. Really solid time for him. Just a 1/10.5 quicker than Liam, who he relegates down to that second row. Liam did improve on his previous time, but only by a couple of tenths. Couldn't close that 7/10 gap that Graham held. At the moment though, he's only holding that gap at the moment by 3.5 of a second is Graham. So everyone is closing in on the current pole sitter. Evil Dragon back in 4th, still holding on to row 2, but yet to dip into those 52s, just the top 3, dipping underneath that 153 benchmark. Adam didn't improve on that last lap. He's got some time to find to get himself up into the front 2 rows. Original John didn't improve either. Riley did. He improved by 0.9 of a second. That's a massive improvement. Puts him up to 7th on the grid. Groot, improvement for him as well by 0.3. Gaz Monkey couldn't improve on his first lap hot time. Panos, no improvement there. None from Creed either. St Dash did make an improvement, 0.7. He's actually going past Harding. I don't know what the I mean, would have thought the rule on qualifying is you don't pass, but I suppose the pass is available, you take it. Captain Slow, still to set a hot lap. It looks like he hasn't been able to put in a significant time yet, which worries me, because time is a ticking. Get something on the board, my friend. It's a 58.4, but he's got a penalty, so that lap's not going to count for anything. He needs to keep it on the racetrack, and you don't do it by taking that line through turn 1. Again, no improvement from Graham. He's obviously pushing that little bit harder each lap to try and improve. And it's actually costing him time because he's losing bits and pieces here and there. Harding still sitting second on the grid. Couldn't improve that time with a 52.8. Panos, best time yet for him, puts himself on that second row. That's a 52.6 from him. He's now dipping into those 153s. Liam still can't improve on his 52.7. Lost 4 seconds on that last lap, but currently as he goes through sector 1 he's running purple as he goes into the chicane heading down towards the boot. That's not a bad time for him. He's currently up. We'll see where his sector 2 time puts him if he's still purple going through there. Sector 3 we know is incredibly tricky, but if he can maintain it through this sector here, all he needs to do is hit his apexes. Sorry about the Hoover in the background. My missus has this thing she loves to clean, and she even does it when people are busy. There we have it. Right, so we're watching Liam at the moment as he comes through that penalty line up towards the end of sector 2. He was up at the end of sector 1, only by a little bit, but certainly enough. Oh, he's slowing right down. Why is he slowing down? So he's not going to be up at the end of sector 2. He slowed right up then, and I can't see whether there was a problem or whether there was an issue up ahead that caused it. But he seems to have abandoned that particular run. He's now 3 seconds down. That's a massive drop in time. So he must have made a mistake somewhere and feels that he couldn't get the time. Is he happy with the time he's put in? There is possibly one more lap in it for him. There certainly is. He's going to cross the line. Just 20 seconds left of 20 seconds left to cross the line and give yourself one more qualifying lap. Graham's still on pole with that blistering 152.222 that he put in on his first hot lap. No one's been able to match it yet. Harding close though. He's just put in a 152.28. Just half a tenth of a second. 0.05 of a second behind Graham on row 2. He's got a car in front of him that might hamper improvement on this lap. It might give him some slipstream, but will it hamper him through the corners? Very bunched up at the moment. Panos still on the hot lap, 52.6 for him. That puts him on row 2. Liam, he's off the track there coming through that chicane. That's going to hurt his time, I would have thought. Evil Dragon still on the hot lap. He's running currently in 5th. Just tucked behind Panos, 52.7 for him. So we have a few drivers now dropping into those sub 153 laps. Adam is the best of the rest, running in 6th place at the moment with that 53.4, just 3 tenths ahead of Riley, who hasn't improved but won't get another opportunity to. So just the top 6 still on a hot lap. Everybody else is where they are. Riley in 7th, Original John in 8th, Creed in 9th, Groot in 10th, Gaz Monkey 11th, ST Dash in 12th, and 13th is Captain Slow. So Graham desperately trying to hold on to this pole position. At one stage he was 7 tenths clear in that BMW. That has been cut by Harding to just 0.05 of a second, but he is purple going into the last corner, but he's tucked behind Groot. Is that going to hold him up through the final turn? Groot is not racing to the line either. This is going to be really, really difficult for Graham. Groot makes a mistake, puts Graham off, and that puts Scupper to that lap for him. Harding, is he up here? He's looking really good. He's got the slipstream from John heading down towards the line. Is it good enough for pole? It's not. He takes 2nd on the grid. Panos coming round. He's 3rd on the grid. Liam in 4th. Evil Dragon in 5th. Adam 6th on the grid. So no change. It was such a shame for Graham as he came through that final sector. He was up on his time by a couple of tenths, but got stuck behind that back runner. The back runner clipping the wall, of course, Groot that was, and it just unsettled Graham's car, and he couldn't get it to the line with a quicker time, but he does maintain pole. There he is in that BMW M2, 152.222, on pole position. Harding in the Focus ST is second on the grid. Panis in the AMG in third. He's joined on row 2 by Liam in the Civic Type R with the M2 Competition 18 of Evil Dragon, Graham's teammate on row 3 with Adam in that Renault Megane trophy. Expected more from the Renault Megane here. It's a really solid car. The original John in the Golf GTI in 7th, joined by Riley in the other AMG. Creed in the Focus is joined by Groot in the Civic. Gaz Monkey, SD Dash and Captain Slow bring up the final places. So here we go. This is race number 1 of 3 8-lap races here in this Touring Car Championship. We will start from 6th, 7th position as we go. That's 3 lights, that's 4 lights, that's 5 lights, and 1 light to go. And there's a full start there from, it looked like the original John full starting. Riley gets a great start off the line, gaining 2 positions up to 7th place. Adam in 8th, and bad start from was it Gaz Monkey that made that mistake? No, it was original John that had that full start. Really cost him some time. Gaz Monkey didn't have a great start either, and Captain Slow holding him up. But Graham gets away nice and early, nice and easy. Has Panos in chase. Harding already losing second place as they go through. Let's have a look if anyone's braved those medium tyres for this first race. So we can see Panos taking the lead there. In that AMG from Graham. He's running the soft tyres, as is Graham and Hardy. You would imagine the front runners here, certainly the top 6, would all start on those soft tyres. Other than Adam. Adam is braving it on the medium compound tyres. Now that could be a brilliant strategy in Nemagan, because he's already gained a couple of places, although he is going to get swallowed up by the soft tyre runners behind. That's softs for Liam and Riley and Creed. Yeah, everyone else other than original John on the mediums, Captain Slow on the mediums, and of course we've got Adam. They're running 4th. He's running a rifle. He's holding those guys up at the moment on those medium tyres. Now the thing is, because it's so difficult to overtake here at Watkins Glen, if he can hold those guys off behind, which he's managing to do so far on the medium tyre, well he was, until Liam makes that little move around, and we'll have a look at that. Liam makes the move around him. And the longer he can hold up the cars behind, the better this will be for the cars running out in front, because they've got soft tyre runners chasing them down. But if they can get a bit of a gap over the first couple of laps, it begins to be a bit of a battle to catch them up. And a nice little move there. Adam giving a lot of room on the inside. If you want to be holding people up, you really want to be holding them up on that inside line. He's lost another place, Adam, down to 6th. But he's got his strategy planned. He knows that he wants to have the soft tyres available for race 2 and 3. So for him, that's actually a good choice. And for me, I think I would be inclined to use the medium tyres early, get them out of the way. So Graham currently leading the way. Now, according to this, he's 1 minute 57 seconds clear, which we know is not the case. So clearly a bug in the system today. There is a little bit of lag in it as well, which is worrying me. Harding looking to try and make a move around Panos, round the outside, into the chicane they go. You're going to have to be brave if you want to make this stick. Side by side into the chicane. 2 does not normally go into 1 there, but really respectful driving from the pair of them. They are properly racing wheel to wheel at the moment. Harding holding on round the outside, carrying so much more pace to be able to hold it with that AMG round the outside. But finally Panos with that inside line manages to tuck in and hold on to 2nd. And all this is doing is giving Graham a lovely little gap out in front, which is not, as the record show there, plus 150. That's ridiculous. So according to this, Graham is minute and 57 seconds clear. Hopefully when they cross the line, this will right itself. The game does bug out like this sometimes. That's how we have it. Right, so yeah, there's no way he's 1 minute 58 seconds clear. Panos is 6 tenths ahead now of Harding, just giving himself a little bit of a gap. Adam back up into 5th, Harding in 3rd. He's got Liam 7 tenths behind in 4th. There is Adam. He's back up into 5th place. He's a second behind, and he's just gone purple in sector 2 there, which could potentially give him the fastest lap. Graham with that fastest lap at the moment, a 1:58.2. yeah, so we've crossed the line. We'll see if this corrects itself now. So he'll go across the line here. This should correct itself as Panos crosses. There we go, 1.9, 1.8 seconds. So he is starting to pull away from the field. 151.8 is a phenomenal lap. If you consider that's quicker than the qualifying time. Yeah, what a phenomenal lap from him. Liam in 4th, Adam in 5th, Evil Dragon running in 6th, Roddy there in 7th. There's Gaz Monkey in 9th is behind this guy, Groot, in the Honda Civic. Gaz Monkey looking to make a move though. Can he make this stick as they go side by side? Drag racing down to that inner loop chicane. Great little move there from the Volkswagen Golf driver. Gets himself up into 8th place, relegating Groot down to 9th. He's got, at the moment, Original John all over the back of him. He had that full start also in that Golf GTI, and you can see there Groot having another look at Gaz Monkey leaving acres of space on the inside, and that just allows Original John and Groot to drift through. But that is going to be an absolute nightmare for him, because at least one of those drivers is running on mediums. John with a little tap in the back of Groot, respectfully doesn't make the move past him, as you would expect anyway. Get rid of that for a little while, we don't need that. Here's Gaz Monkey now. He's trying to make the move down up the inside. You need the inside for the apex really. You don't want to be braking too close to the inside, because it really compromises your exit as you come out. Vying for positions here, John and Groot and Gaz Monkey batting it out for 8th place. This is absolutely on the button, on the money, wheel-to-wheel racing. Again, Gaz Monkey having to back out because he wants that exit speed. He doesn't want to lose out coming through those corners, and that's the big thing about Watkins Glen, is that there is no alternative line through here. Every corner has the one singular line, and you can only really go off that line if the guy in front has made a mistake or left the gap open for you. That's really where you're going to see the overtakes come. But at the moment, there's just no one's giving a quarter, and Gaz Monkey is sticking in 10th place. Creed in 11th. St Dash is in 12th. Captain Slow in the pits after lap 2. It's lap 3 now. He's sitting out this race for whatever reason that might be on those medium tyres. Now for me, because there's no tyre or fuel requirements and there's certainly no need for repairs, sitting out a race at this stage, my feelings are clear on rage quitting, whether you leave the room or not. Obviously it doesn't give him any advantage in the next race, but coming last of course does give him an advantage in the final race. So Graham there now 2 seconds clear. He's got that BMW absolutely swinging, and the beauty of the touring cars is that these are everyday cars, the everyday sort of hatchbacks that you can buy, and you see them all over the roads, and you can go and buy them from your local showroom relatively cheaply. And then of course they throw a shit ton of money behind them to turn them into absolute bonkers racing machines. We'll have a look at some of these liveries, because there's some great liveries on these cars. That is the BMW first livery of Graham's BMW M2. That's Panos. He's running in the Cataclean Holly car. Very, very cool AMG and Mercedes there. Harding in the Napa. That's the Napa Ford Focus ST. Liam Thurso in the Civic, the Rich Energy Civic. Lot of controversy around Rich Energy. Sponsors a lot of motor racing, but doesn't seem to pay up very often. Evil Dragon, he's in the other BMW first M2. That's Adam in the Power Maxed but Renault Megane Trophy. One of my favourite cars there is. There's Riley, he's in the Mac Tools AMG. Original John, he's in that Auto Bright Direct. That's the Volkswagen Golf, of course. Groot, who's been challenged by Gaz Monkey into the chicane. Very brave by Gaz Monkey, throwing it up the inside there. Holds it as well in that Volkswagen Golf, and makes a great move there on Groot in the other Rich Energy Honda Civic. So there's Gaz Monkey's car. You get this, the GoFix Volkswagen Golf. Creed is in the other Napa car. That's the Napa Ford Focus ST. Some Dash in the Power Maxed run home again. Captain Slow is in the Halfords Ujimi Flippy thingy bob. There is a Team Hard car out there, but it hasn't got the Team Hard livery on it, which surprises me. I do have the Team Hard livery on my Cayman that I've currently got equipped, for want of a better expression. But there is your race leader. He is 1.9 seconds clear on lap 5 of 8 here at the Glen in New York City. Hey, I'm walking here. No, I'm not. I'm driving here, is what they're saying. Panos has closed that gap a little bit. He's taken a couple of tenths off, but Graham just seems to be managing his pace very, very well in that BMW M2. Panos not got it all his own way. He's a second clear of Harding at the moment, but he's chasing him down and sticking with him. And that is a personal best for Harding with a 1:51.8. Again, quicker than the qualifying time. So that bit of slipstream really helping these guys and certainly improving their lap times as they go on. The big question, of course, is going to be, we've seen a sub 52. We've seen a 51.8. Is there a 51.5? Can we get into the low 51s throughout the course of these next couple of races? As they sort of gel their way in and, you know, they start to find their lines around here, it's certainly possible these guys could find a way through. We can see that gap to Graham being cut to 1.7 seconds. It's only in sector 1. He seems to lose a bit of time and then gains it through the trickier corners. So he seems to be able to get a bit more speed through the corners in that BMW than Panos and Harding behind, but Harding really closing down on the back of Panos, and we'll have a look at this is what Panos can see in his mirrors. It's all Napa. That's all he can see, is all that sponsorship just bearing down on the back of his AMG. Can he hold Harding at bay? There is a lot of power in that AMG Mercedes, but we know that the Focus ST has a racing pedigree dating back long before any of us were even conceived, and it is an amazing racing heritage. You know, you could argue that Ford have a similar racing heritage to the likes of your Ferraris and your Audis and your Mercedes, because they have throughout the years brilliant racing cars to pretty much every form of the sport, whether it be, you know, from F1 right all the way through the ranks to right down to the simplest of stock car racing. There is always a Ford that can be adapted for that purpose. Just goes to show the versatility, I suppose, of the fix or repair daily brand. I suppose you would expect that from the first ever motor car manufacturer. He's got a really good run on Panos, heading up the hill towards the chicane. Can he make a really brave move up the inside? It looks like Panos is holding that inside line. He's defending for dear life. Does not want to take the risk. Harding with a purple first sector from that slipstream. Gets it a little bit wrong, almost losing the front end. You can see it diving off in that chicane. That certainly looked like a wild stab at the controller there. As he takes it nice and wide. He's still tucked nicely in behind Panos as they run down towards the trickiest part of the circuit, which being the boot section. Round they come in towards the toe. This big sweep back right-handed hairpin, that's the word I'm looking for. Hairpin doesn't take so much of the inside line. The more, the tighter you take that apex, the wider you can take the exit, and that is absolute key for this run down towards the hill where you brake down to about 50 miles an hour, there or thereabouts, before you get back on that power again, heading into the final couple of corners of the circuit. This for me is the one that catches people out a lot. It looks like you can take it quite wide, but you've so much danger of catching that tyre wall on the right as you come out. You have to be so patient with the throttle out of the second to last corner. Through they come, and this is the end of lap 7 as we head into the final lap of the race, and it is Graham leading by 1.5 seconds on this final lap, heading down to turn 1. Panos running in second. He's still got Harding for company, who can't seem to close to within half a second. Top 3 now absolutely pulling away from the field. That's the best of the rest. That's Liam running in that Rich Energy Civic ahead of Evil Dragon, who's looking to try and push on this final lap. Evil Dragon running on the medium compound tyres. This is a phenomenal performance from him, because he's got those medium tyres out of the way. he's going to have a choice of just the softs. So we know he can run the softs in the next race. These guys, the guys in front of him, some of them might have to run the mediums just for strategy's purposes to not be stuck on the mediums and at the back of the pack. Adam, also on those medium tyres, good run from him in 6th place. I wouldn't be surprised to see those guys in and amongst it on the soft compound tyres in race number 2. Riley and Original John battling it out with him for that position. Original John also on those medium tyres as well. And he makes the move on Riley as Riley gets it wrong. Can he come back at him with that superior grip of the soft compounds? He's on the outside. John defending very well. The US driver sandwiched between the two Brits at the moment. Can't find a way past Adam. Trying to keep Riley at bay. Gazmonkey in 9th, Groot in 10th. St Dash in 11th and Creed in 12th. And we've lost just one driver. That's Captain Slow from this race. So as we head down into the final sector of this first race here on lap 8, it is Graham 1.6 seconds clear of the Greek driver Panos, or God Gift John, depending on how you know him. Raced with him a few times. Good little driver is God Gift John. And they've round the final corner. Here is Graham to cross the line and take the first win of this new season in that BMW. Good start from him. There we go, good win from him. Panos coming home in 2nd. Holds off Harding, eventually 1.3 seconds back in the Ford Focus. Liam closely followed by Evil Dragon in 4th and 5th. Adam, Original John and Riley in that little procession. 2 medium tyre runners as well in top 6 there. Original John as well. Riley coming home in 8th. Gazmonkey home in 9th. Groot in the other Rich Energy car in 10th. St Dash coming home in 11th and 12th is Creed in that other Napa car. There we have it. What a finish that was. Great start from Graham. Really dominated that race. Held on from start to finish. Took pole essentially in the first hot lap and hasn't been anywhere other than first since then. Couldn't get fastest lap. A 1:51.699 from Panos. Creeping ever closer to that potential target of a 51 mid for race pace. Graham in the M2 takes the win though, of course, from Panos in the AMG. Harding in 3rd, Liam in 4th, followed by Evil Dragon and Adam, both of those running the medium compound tyre, getting that out of the way. They don't have to run that anymore. Original John, bad start. He had a really poor start, but recovered quite well in the Golf. Mark 7 GTI in 7th place with Riley in 8th. 9th was Gazmonkey, also in the Golf with Groot in 10th. 11th was St Dash. Creed in the other Focus in 12th. And DNF was Captain Slow in the other Civic Type R. There we have it. That's race number 1 out of the way. Race number 2 will follow very, very shortly. There will be no qualifying for this race. It will simply be a set grid from the fastest first in that particular race. Not a bad start. Not a bad start to proceedings at all, if I do say so myself. Some of these cars looking pretty darn racy. Original John, that was a massive recovery from him, actually. He had such a poor start in that Golf GTI, but to bring it back to 7th was a good race from him. Mr. Slowly is washed. What does that mean? Someone could explain. So the grid is being set for the next race, and we'll get straight at it. 8 more laps. So I was talking briefly before we started about some of the stuff that's coming up on Black Flag Racing and Black Flag Racing TV. I've lost it now. There it is. Yes, War. I want to talk a bit about this. We gave it a crack as a kind of a little bit of fun over Christmas, and it's absolutely immense. You have teams of 3. There's 3 races, teams of 3. Everybody is in the same car, the same car equivalent. So you've got the GR3s and GR4 equivalents of the cars, and you have every driver will drive the GR4 at one stage in that 3-race series. And the aim of the game is for the GR4 driver to come home ahead of the other GR4 drivers. Their aim is to race. The GR3s, however, their remit is very, very different. Their remit is all about taking out the opposition. Now, whether that be take out the other GR3 cars to keep them away from your GR4, whether it be to defend your GR4 car, whether it be to target and attack the other GR4s. There is no directional expectation. There's no points for bringing a GR3 home. There's no points for elegant damage. It is all about getting that GR4 car home and home safely. And I'll tell you what, anything can happen in a very short space of time. And we saw that when we did the test event at Laguna Seca, among other places. It starts this weekend in the I can't remember what car we're in. I think we're in an American car. I can't remember which car it is. But yeah, we start this weekend on Sunday. There is still time if you want to get involved. I think there's space for at least one more team, maybe two. Trying to think now. Yeah, probably one more team. Space for one more team if you're interested. The only points, of course, only go to the GR4 team that gets home first. There's no points for second or third or fourth. It's first place points only in that particular event. So come along if you want an evening of absolute debauchery. Is generally what happens. But it is very, very good fun. And of course, you need to be on the comms. Otherwise, it doesn't really work. But yeah, looking forward to that on Sunday. So we're starting in a couple of minutes. So we've got time to talk about the big event coming up, the really big event coming up, which is going to be this. The first series run by GT Alphas finished at the end of 2023. It was the GT3 World Championship, won convincingly in the end by Bonnie Val of the Amigos Racing Team. Team Championship, funny enough, actually, Amigos took the Pro title, the Pro-Am title, and the Amateur title. Triple whammy for the Amigos Racing Team, with Black Flag, of course, taking the Team Championship, quite narrowly, though, from Sector 7 Racing, based out of the United States. That is the GT3 Championship over. We come with a whole brand new series for 2024. All will be revealed right here in 3 days' time, when we'll open registration and go through the ins and outs of the new racing series. It is something a little bit different from the previous series, of course. So there will be opportunities for... It's multiple lobbies, so if you want to get involved, you can do. The team competition is... It's not limited to whether you've got one driver or 20 drivers, because it's only your top 3 drivers that count towards your team points. So if you're not in any more of a beneficial position by having more drivers in your team. So yeah, if you want to get involved in that, all the details will be available in 3 days' time. There we go. So, next race about to begin. Grid will be set based on the finishing there. Now, if Graham can win this race without losing the lead, he will have led pretty much every single lap driven through qualifying to today. Or to the end of this race, and then the first time you'll see him anywhere other than first will be at the back of the grid. We saw Panos was a little bit quicker in that race, did over one lap get a faster lap time. Can he do one better in that AMG and take Graham as the opportunity, if the opportunity arises, of course. So here we go, race number 2. And it's really annoying that I have to do that every single time I want to. Right, here we go. We're going to go on board with Riley for the start. That's 3, that's 4, that's 5 lights. What do we want? Race car noises. When do we want them? Meow, and they're away. Little bit of a stutter there from Adam. Riley with a fantastic start. Somebody's got launch control in his AMG. And Panos shows how quick that AMG is off the line and takes the lead into turn 1. Great little move from Riley up into 5th. That is a fabulous start from the 2 AMG drivers. Panos just taking Graham at the start finish line as they head away from the grid and up into the lead of this race. That gives Graham some work to do now. Graham in second, Evil Dragon running on those soft compounds in third place. Who has started on what tyres? Let's have a look. Mediums for Panos. He's going to want to try and pull away as quickly as possible. Graham on the soft compounds. So Graham's going to be starting from the back of the grid in race number 3, or assuming he finishes where he is, be starting from the back of the grid in race number 3 on medium compound tyres. It's going to be difficult. The 2 BMWs running second and third at the moment with Graham and Evil Dragon, who has already run those mediums, so he's only got the softs available. Trying to make a move on his teammate round the outside, clips the wall, does make the move though, and makes that stick. That was a fabulous move there, and we'll have another look at that from his viewpoint. And you can see here, he sees that Graham's really tight on the inside, and the gap just opens up in front of him, and he sticks in behind Panos and lets that move absolutely work for him. Brilliant driving from Evil Dragon, although he doesn't make it stick as we come back. Still battling over the BMW side by side, battling it out. They're both on the soft compounds as well, so it is all about the driver. And Evil Dragon again in second position. Can he hold him off this time? And look how close these guys are. There's Graham running in third, Liam in fourth, he's on the medium tyres, Groot on the softs in fifth, he's in there as well. So there's 1.6 seconds separating the top 5, 2.2 separating the top 6. There is Adam. He is on the soft compound tyres as well. We'll have a look here actually. We'll go chase cam, and you can see here from the chase cam, what am I doing? That's what I'm doing. There's Harding, and we can see there just how close these drivers are together. You can see the entire field from 7th place, 8th place. There's Original John. We'll just check it. Harding is on those medium tyres. Original John, he's run those mediums now. He had a bad start in race number 1. Did really well to bust his way up the field. He's currently running in 8th, getting a good run on the back of Harding. Can he make a move into the chicane? I don't think he's quite close enough now. You can see cars up ahead going side by side. That was a lovely little move. I think that was Groot that just made that beautiful little move on Liam as into the chicane it was. He gets a really good run. Liam trying to defend that inside line. Then Evil Dragon doing the same thing. He takes the cue from Evil Dragon, dives up the inside last minute, and actually Evil Dragon really helped him out there, just giving him that little bit of extra slipstream, a little bit of impetus that helped pull him past Liam and up into 4th. Great racing there. You look back, look at the gaggle of cars, nothing separating them at the moment. That's Liam in 5th, Adam in 6th, Harding running in 7th, Original John having a little look at him, can't make the move there. Can he get him under braking? Excuse me, into the hill. Adam taking a very tight line through there, which is going to compromise his exit. Great exit from Original John. He's got a good run on Harding down to his left-hander, but it comes upon you far too quickly to get anything done around the outside. Missing that wall. He's trying up the inside now. He's going to try and take this inside line. Try and follow Adam through the inside line in the penultimate corner. That's a great move. Does he make it stick? He can't. You get that extra bit of pace if you've got that extra bit of road. That's the thing about taking the only line through here. Liam very wide there. Great little battle going on 4th, 5th place between Adam, Liam and Harding. Look at this. The slipstream. So strong. Liam wasn't getting any. And the other 3 cars. Oh, a little tap in the back of Harding. Just unsells his car a little bit. Now John, the American driver, the only US driver actually in the field, making a move. He's got the inside line as they burn up the hill towards the chicane. Gets that move done. Can Harding have another crack at him? What about Liam? Liam's in the slipstream as well. Is he going to be able to slip one up the inside? Are either of these cars going to leave the gap this time up the inside, as we saw on that previous lap? Harding having a little look, decides against it, as does Liam, and they tuck in and stay where they were. Riley's in that battle as well, just outside in 9th place. Creed's there as well in 10th. A bit of a gap back to St. Ash, 1.2 seconds back at the moment. But look at this run. We're essentially looking, it's 3.7 seconds separating the top 10 cars. And it is an absolute doozy of a battle at the moment. Look at this. So Panos out in the lead. He's 4 10, I'll say 4/10 of a second clear, but he's not. Look at that. That is the top 8, top 9 cars. Oh, there's a spin. Who's that facing in the wrong direction? That's the Rich Energy car of Groot. Let's have a little look and see what happened to Groot that caused that problem. You can see there, back end stepping out a little bit. Was he clipped? He got on the grass, got on the power a bit too early. Yeah, it looks like he did get a little bit of a touch. I don't think that had much to do with it, though. He got on the power. He caught the grass coming around that corner. Just a little bit too early on the power, and absolutely ballsed him up. We have got Captain Slow back with us. Will he stick it out this time? So Graham has made the move on Panos while we were watching Groot facing in the wrong direction. Graham has made the move on Panos. He's gone from being half a second behind to almost a second clear. Was that a mistake from the Greek driver? Or is Graham the pressure from the BMW just starting to tell as Graham pushes on for his second win of the day, essentially second round. Adam up to third. Remember, he's on the soft compound tyres. He is ahead of Original John, also on those soft compound tyres in that Volkswagen Golf. Harding on the mediums, down to fifth with... where's the BMW of Evil Dragon? There it is, running in sixth, just behind Harding. Is he going to be able to make a move on Harding with those? He's on the softs now, remember, because he had the mediums in that first race. So good little run there out of coming out of the chicane, and he's giving him a great little run there. He's a little bit late on the brakes into the left hand of that, and Harding to come back at him, but he is holding the outside line, which gives him the inside into the hairpin. Under braking, can he hold the inside line? Is Harding going to try the switch? He can't make the move, tucked in behind, and that's a great little run actually for Evil Dragon out of that hairpin onto the back of the top four. And you can see there, this is a battle for the top four. And look at the straight line speed of Harding in that Ford Focus ST. Far outweighs the speed of that BMW in a straight up drag race. But for some, under braking, the BMW just looks so much more stable than the Ford Focus ST. Again, as you can see, as they get out of sort of fourth, fifth gear, that's when that ST really starts to power up towards the back of that BMW, and the gearing really, really cleverly done. Probably better suited to a track more like Monza with much longer straights where it can really get the most out of that top end speed. You can see here with the slipstream into sixth gear, now really closing on Evil Dragon quite quickly, but running out of road on quite a consistent basis to not be able to capitalise on that additional straight line speed. Panos now dropping down to the, he's on the medium tyres, which is, it's going to tell its tale. It's difficult to keep the soft tyre runners at bay. As Original John making a move round the outside of the Greek driver. So it's two Brits, Graham and Adam, leading the way in first and second. We've got Original John now, the American driver, up to fourth place. So he's not. So he's up to third place because Panos, the Greek driver, down to fourth with a 1.3 second gap now. Just starting to pull away the top four. Just starting to edge away from that midfield battle. That midfield battle with Evil Dragon, Harding, Liam, Riley. They're all dogging it out for a place in the top five. And not much separates them. It's 3.8 seconds between fifth and first. And the same again between fifth and ninth. Massive, massive battles for supremacy. Looking at the back of the pack, there's Captain Slow. He's 1.1 seconds behind Groot on those racing soft tyres. He is tucked right in behind Creed, trying to find a way past him up to chase down Gas Monkey for a top 10 spot. That rich energy Honda really bearing down on the back of Creed at the moment, but Creed doing a really good job of holding him at bay. But all the time he's holding him up, Gas Monkey up ahead, who's in a bit of see here, he's in a bit of no man's land. He's 2.3 seconds clear of those three cars behind him, comfortably inside the top 10, but he's got 6.3 seconds between him and St Dash up the road. He is on those medium tyres, of course, so it will be slightly slower. Fastest lap this time out has been Adam with a 52.1, so not quite the pace we saw in that opening race, but that will be because you've got a wind against you running up the hill here. I'll tell you, you've got the wind's going against you running up the hill here, which will affect your speed heading towards the chicane. It will scrub a couple of miles an hour off your speed heading up the hill with that awful wind. So Graham still leads the way now, 0.7 of a second, opening up the gap. Fastest lap for him so far is a 52.3. Now he's in clear air. Does that give him the opportunity to pull away? He's got Adam behind him, 1 second back, running in the that's the Golf, isn't it? But he is 1.4 ahead of Original John, the US driver. He managed to find his way around Panos, who led the race for the first few laps, but has managed to edge his way into that top 3. Good performance from him in the first race, of course, because he got bogged down on the line and had to fight his way up into the top 7. But again, good fighting for him to get himself into 3rd. But of course, all these guys will be running from the back of the grid in this final race because it is a reverse grid race. Panos in 4th, Evil Dragon running in 5th, Harding in 6th. Still trying to close on that top 3. Gap has closed a little bit, but not enough to to put those top 3 in any sort of trouble, I wouldn't have thought. Panos has got Evil Dragon kind of just at arm's length. He's kind of the equivalent of holding a midget on the forehead and a midget punching away. He's close, but not quite close enough. 1.3 back to Harding, who's managed to just give himself a little bit of a breathing room from Liam, who has gapped now from Riley under a lot of pressure from St Dash. You can see here just how much pressure he's putting on him at the moment in that Renault Megane trophy, closing right on the back of Riley's AMG. And the run up the hill here, as I said, you're going to lose a couple of miles per hour because of that wind, but the slipstream really strong, and he's having a look up the inside. Is he braver under braking? He certainly is. Gets into chicane, doesn't lose that much speed. That allows him to breeze past Riley almost as though he's not there. Riley going to have the opportunity to come back at him, but now they're into this boot section of the racetrack, which is sort of dominates sector 2, this tricky heel and toe section of the racetrack. It's very difficult to capitalise on that slipstream until you get down to the final corner. You need a really, really good exit out of that final corner, turn 11 or turn 8 if you're not counting the ones you don't brake for. That's the kind of run you need down to turn 1. So if you can sit here, just 3 tenths, 2.5 tenths behind, coming out of the last corner, it gives them a really, really good opportunity up the hill to take this position back, going into the inner loop chicane. Taking quite a wide line through there. You want to be much tighter on the apex there to give you a sort of wider exit, because you're so close to the wall coming out, and often you have to hold off on that accelerator just to prevent clipping the wall on the way through. And he's lost a little bit of time. He's lost a couple of tenths. He's now 7 tenths back from St Dash, who had a much better final sector. Long run down to turn 1. Riley really, really needs to close this gap as we're on the final lap of the race, and it is Graham. He's going to make it qualifying. He's going to make it 2 from 2. He's not got the fastest lap. That goes to the Original John with a 51.8 running in 3rd. But Adam really closing on Graham now. Can he make the move on this final lap as they head up to the chicane? He's on the inside. He makes the move. Adam takes the lead, and that's going to make it incredibly difficult now for Graham to take that position back. We know from this point onwards, overtaking is such a difficult thing to do here at the Glen. So Graham really vying to push that BMW to a second win in this second race, but he can't find a way through. Trying to force a mistake out of Adam as Original John has closed that gap on the front 3. Now it could be now that one slight error from Graham or Adam here, and both cars go off. Original John can find himself stealing a win from nowhere as we head down towards the final sector. Into the hill we go. It is Adam leading from Graham, from Original John. They're the 1, 2, 3. Adam holding that inside line, does not want Graham to make the switcheroo on him. He doesn't leave enough room. No chance for him to do it. Original John looking for a gap that just isn't there at the moment. Trying to keep it nice and tight. He's making a move on Graham. Is he going to make it stick as they drag race down to the penultimate corner? What a move from the American driver. Up to second, past the BMW. Far too wide though on that penultimate corner. That allows Graham to come back at him as they head down towards the go bowling sign for the final time in race number 2. Original John couldn't hold it, just a little bit too hot into that penultimate corner, and it is a win for Adam in this race number 2. Graham home in 2nd, Original John in 3rd. What a battle to the line from them 3. Evil Dragon comfortably in 4th, with Harding coming home in 5th, just 1.3 from Liam. St Dash in 7th. Riley in 8th place, 2.3 ahead of Panos, who really dropped down the field towards the end there on those medium tyres. His final lap was awful with a 2:02. He must have had a little crash somewhere. Groot home in 10th, Gaz Monkey in 11th, Creed is 12th, Captain Slow 6.3 seconds back, comes home in 13th place. But of course, 13th in this race, but first on the grid in race number 3. What a finish to line that was from those three. Final classifications we can see here. There we have it. Graham in the M2 couldn't take another win. He had to finish behind Adam, but only half a second separating the top three across that line. 51.8 fastest lap there for the original John in the Golf, who almost had second place. But it doesn't matter whether you win them by an inch or a mile. He didn't win it. Evil Dragon in 4th, Harding was in 5th, Liam in 6th, 7th was St. Dash, Riley in that AMG home in 8th place. Panos in 9th had a very poor final lap. 10th was Groot, Gaz Monkey was 11th, Creed 12th, and Captain Slow in his Civic came home in 13th place. There we go. It's done. Moving on to race number 3, which should be not too long. So we've seen where the pace is. Graham certainly, Panos has got some pace out there. We've seen Harding put in some really good pace. Adam, much racier on those soft compound tyres, as was the American driver, the original John. Really showed some phenomenal pace. We're going to see a reverse grid now, which means we're going to see a lot of the top end drivers trying to find ways past the cars in front, and we know that they're going to have to get that move done within the first sector and towards the end of sector 3 if they want any chance of doing it cleanly. They're going to be relying on mistakes, certainly going to be relying on mistakes from those guys that finish towards the tail end. But the key for those guys really is to try and keep it as clean as possible. They're not going to be putting in the blistering 152 laps of their counterparts behind. But what they can do, if they keep it clean and they take the racing line, they're going to make it incredibly difficult for those cars behind to make a way through, and can have a say in this championship, maybe helping their teammates out or their quicker teammates out a little bit by allowing them through and closing up the gap to the cars behind, maybe. So starting in about 5 minutes, I will be back with you very shortly. We return. Reverse grid. And this is how the grid will look. Captain Slow in that Civic will take up the pole position with Creed in the Focus joining alongside him. Gaz Monkey, who can show some pace actually, so I wouldn't be surprised if that Golf can make a little run on Captain Slow and Creed down into turn 1. Groot in that Civic Type R will join him on row 2 with Panos in the AMG. Now Panos had a phenomenal pace in that last race. Even on those medium tyres, he's now going to be on the softs. We've seen that him and Riley in that AMG, credible start, incredible launches from the AMG. It seems to go from 0 to 60 so much quicker than the other cars on the field, which gives them from 5th and 6th a real good opportunity to take the lead of this race. Now, if Panos, who led a lot of race number 2, can take the lead early here on race number 3. His closest rival in that previous race, Original John and Graham, are back in 11th and 12th. Back in 11th and 12th. Why is Adam in 13th? He didn't win that race, did he? No, he didn't. He's in the wrong place. They have to sort that out. Really looking forward to that actually, unless Adam's there for some sort of infringement. So really looking forward to those AMGs and see how they can do from the line. St Dash in the McGann is in 7th position with the Civic Type R of Liam in 8th, the Focus of Harding in 9th, Evil Dragon in the M2 in 10th, and then 11th, 12th, 13th is Original John, E. Graham and Adam, all very quick. In fact, those 4, Evil Dragon, Original John, Graham and Adam, want to see how quickly those guys can really put some pressure on the midfield runners. If the key really for the AMGs here, if they want a good finish, is to use that start to get forward. Now, as Dash just reminding people, if they haven't run mediums, they've got to run them this time. It's going to be interesting because there's a few cars that haven't run it yet, and if you're in the tail end of this field and you're running medium tyres, you're going to struggle because the cars around you are going to have that extra grip. And those soft compound tyres just allow you to brake that little bit later and to not only brake that little bit later, but to get on the accelerator that little bit earlier, to go through those quicker corners at that little bit more pace because you can hold the car so much better. The difference between the medium and the soft is probably about 2 seconds a lap over the course of Watkins Glen. So really looking forward to this. But without further ado, we move into the final race of the proceedings. We'll probably do that so you can see what the hell is going on. Come on, PD, fix this shit. Right, where should we start from now? I think I want to start with these 2 AMGs. I want to see how well they get off the line. That's 3 lights, that's 4 lights, that's 5 lights. What do we want? Race car noises. When do we want them? Now! And another great start from Riley. Is he going to get himself up into the lead? We saw there that Panos also making a great move through. Panos up into round the outside, the 2 of them. That was phenomenal from those 2. Let's just watch this start again from this position, and you can see here that the pair of them just go one round the right hand side, one round the left hand side, and they make it look so easy to take first and second in that AMG, coming together a little bit as well into first and second. But great start from those 2. Riley leading from Panos. Both of them are going to be running now, I think, the soft compound tyre. Should we have a look and see who's running what? This is where people get caught out if they haven't got the right tyre. And riding on those softs. Panos, of course, we know he's running on the softs. He's making a move up the inside on his teammate. Can he make it stick as they head down towards the boot section? Panos does take the lead of this race. Groot is up to 3rd. He's on the soft compound. Medium tyres for Creed. He's going to find himself swamped very quickly by those faster cars behind. St Dash on the soft compound tyres. He's running in 5th. He's got Liam just behind him on the softs as well. Softs for Evil Dragon. Adam already up to 8th. Gaz Monkey 9th. Original John 10th. Graham at the moment not fighting a way through. Captain Slow already darting down the field to 12th. Harding looks like he's had a massive problem. Can we see what happened to Harding? I I don't think we can. I think he's already way back by the time we get replay worthy. So something happened to him, and it didn't go too well. So Panos and Riley in those very nippy AMGs take the lead of this race. Now the AMG has a lower restriction for horsepower than the rest of the cars, because they're four-wheel drive. But of course, that's the big draw for this four-wheel drive car, is off the line you've got four wheels pulling you away, not just the front two. You've got all four tyres gripping that surface and powering you from 0 to quick very swiftly. And they're starting just to edge away from Groot there in third. Panos from Riley, Groot, Liam, Excellent Dash, and an Evil Dragon. Now, Evil Dragon there on those soft compound tyres, he wants to get past these slower cars in front while he's in that BMW. The BMW has proved to be very rapid car around here. I think overall, through the corners it seems to be a better car. Adam making a little move though. Can he make that move? Sticky can't. Evil Dragon in the chicane. Gets it all kinds of wrong though. Can he hold it? He does. He holds it quite well, considering he came so hot through that chicane that he shot out like a shit off a shovel, which is completely uncontrolled. Could not hold the inside line as he would have liked to, but he is looking very nifty in that BMW. Talking of nifty, there's Graham. He's already fought his way up to 8th place as Original John. There's Original John looking up the inside. A spin from Graham. All kinds of wrong for him, and that's going to really affect any chance he wants of taking another win here today. So we can see here Original John just getting tight on the back of Graham. Is there a touch? Doesn't look to me like there was. It looks like he just lost the back end, and unfortunately Gaz Monkey caught him again there. Well, to be fair, from my view, it didn't look like there was a touch, but it could have been a netcode issue. So obviously that's down to the stewards to look at if necessary. Panos now pulling away a little bit. We've lost one driver from the room. That's Creed. Creed is gone. Maybe he's got a fight with Rocky. He needs to get to, so he's had to rush off. So Panos leads the way. He's trying to pull out a bit of a gap from Riley. He should know by now. He'll certainly see that on his screen that his biggest rival for the win here is not going to be able to fight. It's going to be a very difficult job. With only 5 laps remaining, it's going to be a very difficult job for Graham to fight his way through. He's got to make 3.4 seconds up on Harding first before he can even think about starting to challenge and work his way through the field. So Panos leads from Riley. Groot 1.5 seconds back now. He's got Liam for company. The top 4. This is the good thing about reverse. It's good or bad depending on how you look at it. The good thing about reverse grids is that if you're a fast driver, you've got to get the work done very quickly. But 2, it tends to spread out quite quickly because you've got among the reverse grid, you're going to have drivers that didn't fare so well in the previous race. They're usually quite quick, and I think Panos' strategy of using the medium tyres in that second race was absolutely spot on, because he knew he had the pace, but he also knew he was going to get swatted up. But it wasn't such a big deal because he managed to hold on for quite some time. If he hadn't had quite such a bad lap on that final lap, maybe it might have been worse for him. But he gave himself a good position to start from in that AMG Mercedes. So Panos leads the way, the Greek driver from Riley. Those 2 AMGs holding on quite well. 53.0 for Panos. Fastest lap from Harding, 52.7. Now, race 1 was incredibly quick pace-wise, but again we've got that headwind as you head up that long straight towards the inner loop chicane, which really is going to affect the pace going up that hill, and will certainly affect the lap times. I think that's why we had such good lap times in that race, because they had a tailwind sort of pushing them up the hill there. Right, so Panos leads the way, 1 second clear now of Riley, and we want to have a look at the back of the pack because I want to see where Graham is. He's closed right up already. Look at this. He's certainly putting in some pace. Adam with the fastest lap, 52.5. He's running comfortably in that midfield. Here is the I would say, I think you could argue that he's been the favourite today. He's been very, very quick. Trying to close on Captain Slow. That's his first target. All respect to Captain Slow. He's putting the effort in and he's racing around, but he's going to find it very hard to keep Graham at bay. Don't worry, Captain Slow. I feel your pain. I am often, if not always, the guy at the back of the pack whenever I'm racing. So don't feel too disheartened. There are others out there like you. And you'd probably beat me, to be fair. I don't race much anyway, but when I do, it's usually quite slowly. So Captain Slow in that Honda Civic. He's got the BMW. The BMW very, very, very good through corners. Losing a bit of speed to the ST in a straight line, and certainly off the line, no good like the AMG. Right, here's the move. Can he get it done before they head into the heel? He can't. He's close, but not quite close enough. And Captain Slow put his car in kind of the right places to make it difficult for Graham. We're coming up to the halfway point of this final race, and he's got a lot of work to do here. A little clip of the wall for Gaz Monkey. Captain Slow, little bit too slow through there. Here comes Graham. He's looking round the inside. He's going for the switcheroo. Captain Slow doesn't leave the gap, or he does now. Here we go. Can Graham make the move now? Again, he's just not there. Much tighter up the inside there. Gets that move done. Gaz Monkey trying to pull away now. That's the next target. Let's have a quick look back at the front of the field. Panos and Riley. Riley's closed the gap a little bit on Panos. Slow lap by his standards of 53.0. There for Panos, with Riley doing a 52.6 and able to close the gap down to 0.4 of a second. These two already pulling away now from Groot. He is Groot. No, he's Groot, and he is third. No, he's not. Liam is third. This is a battle, actually, for third place. Looking from Original John, the US driver, who may or may not have clipped Graham. Now, from my perspective, it didn't look like he touched him. It could have been a bit of netcode. But, you know, if there is a steward's inquiry, I'm sure they'll look at it from whatever perspective. But from my perspective, he didn't touch him. But, you know, netcode's a funny thing. Is it can make or break someone's race. And it's nobody's fault. It could be from John's perspective, he didn't touch him. Whereas from Graham's perspective and the perspective of the PlayStation servers, that he did. Who knows? No one ever will. Is John going to get a move on Adam or Groot here? It's really close. While these guys are battling out so hard, though, that's given Liam a little bit of impetus to just pull away. If Liam can keep his head, maybe he can just make a bit of a gap and keep these guys at bay. Let them fight behind him. He'll love that. He'll love looking in his mirrors and seeing these three cars battling out, because it just means that he can carry on doing what he needs to do. He doesn't have to worry about defending. He can worry about just putting in the lap times. Original John with a 51.6 on that last lap. What's he going to put in this time on lap 5? A 52.666, the number of the beast. Up the inside goes the Volkswagen Golf, and he's that's one of his targets out of the way. He is Groot. He was third. He is now down in 6th. He's got the run though on Original John going up the hill. Is he brave enough to chuck it up the inside, or is the American driver wily enough to block that off and brake just late enough to stop him getting through? He is close enough to make the move if he's brave enough. He wasn't. He lost it. He lost the bravery. Okay, so Groot down to 6th. There's Original John trying to fight his way up towards that top 3. Still a distinct possibility. Top 2, though, these AMGs have just absolutely pulled away, and I think that's the really good thing about these AMGs. They don't necessarily have the straight line speed or the cornering speed of the front wheel drive cars here, and they certainly have a horsepower disadvantage because they're 4-wheel drive. But if they can get out in front and they can pull a little bit of a lead early, it makes them a difficult prospect to catch, particularly now, of course, because they're teammates as well. They can play team orders here, and Riley can say, look, I'm not going to let Liam through. If needs be, I will sacrifice a first place here and let you disappear off, because that's what teammates do. If of course they're going to work as a team, who knows? But that of course relies on Panos putting in the pace and letting Riley and not letting Riley close enough to him to challenge. So we complete lap 6. Just 2 laps remaining this evening, and it's been an absolutely fantastic set of races, I have to say. I love the idea of this format, and it's a format that we've potentially tried to look at as Black Flag for a while. It's just finding the time to do it and when to slot it in, but I absolutely love this kind of taking a road car with racing heritage and putting that bit of spark into it to turn it into a race worthy car. And the hatchbacks, such a heritage, all of these hatchbacks, such a racing heritage through touring cars, and you've got the DTM cars, and you've got rally, and all these kind of races that these hatchbacks get involved in. It's such a good thing. I mean, things like the Clio Cup, and it's just absolutely phenomenal. And these are all family cars. I mean, the whole point of the touring car is that these are family cars. The sort of car that you might have for, you've got a couple of kids. You take it to Asda, or Walmart, depending on where you are in the world, Walmart, Woolworths if you're in Australia, to go to your family shop and your family days out, but you can still turn them into absolute powerhouse machines that can battle it out with the best of them. But there we have it. So Panos is leading by 8 tenths of a second. Riley in second. Liam desperately trying to close that gap. 1.3 seconds. You can still see Groot now dropping off that pace a little bit from Original John. We don't need to know what tyres are running on anymore. Fuel not an issue, so we don't have to worry about that. There's Original John. Is he able to make any inroads into Adam? Adam doing a very good job of holding him off. Liam doing a good job of holding him. Let's go through the field because we're not going to have much opportunity as we hit the final lap. There's Captain Slow, 6.2 behind the Gaz Monkey. Graham has got past him. He's 1.5 seconds clear of him now. But his next target is 10 seconds up the road. So not big points for Graham at this time out. Just goes to show that one little slip, one little mistake, one little tap, one little spin. Race is over. Absolutely. 9.5 seconds ahead of Graham, but only 3 tenths behind Dash as we move into the final lap of the race. He is 3.9 behind Evil Dragon, who is 1.4 off that top 6. Groot now dropping closer towards Evil Dragon and away from Original John. Into the top 5 we go, and it's the Volkswagen Golf of Original John from the United States. Still half a second behind Adam. No, he's not. He's half a second. Oh, he is. It was side by side, these two. Absolutely duking it out. Who's going to come better off as they come out of the chicane? It's Liam. It's Adam. No, it's Liam. No, it's Adam. No, it's Liam. No, it's Adam. It's Liam. Liam is just ahead. Or is he? Original John through. Adam losing 2 places in the space of a few corners. Absolutely going off. It is battle time. Liam, there he is in third. Those guys have caught him after that battling behind. But look at this going on. We don't want to miss this battle. As Adam through again. Original John going sideways. Locking up those tyres. Smoke everywhere. Look at the state of that. Has he blown a tyre? Absolute smoke everywhere. So, what can we say? That was so locking up those tyres. That's not going to do him any favours in that battle. But so it's back to almost half a second as we come around the final few corners. Here is your race leader. It is the Greek driver Panos God Gift John in the AMG. He comes round that final corner. Here he comes to take the win. Great start for the AMG. And I said the AMGs from 5th and 6th were going to be dangerous. And absolutely, do you know what? Sometimes I get it horribly wrong. That was a brilliant prediction because I'm a freaking genius. There's Riley across the line in second, the other AMG. Liam holds on for third. Adam for fourth. Original John for fifth. He is Groot. He's home in sixth. Evil Dragon home in seventh. Harding come home in eighth, closely followed by St. Dash. Graham across the line. He rounds out that top 10 in the other BMW. Gaz Monkey in 11th. 12th was Captain Slow. And Creed left us early doors. There we have it. What a finish that was from those guys. Original John with a 51.6. Which I think he got on that final lap, did he not? I know he only got a lap 4. So yeah, phenomenal pace. And I think, had he not locked up and gone a little bit sideways, I think Original John might well have got himself into that top 3. And so there we have it. That's the 3 races done and dusted. Final classification for you. Panos and Riley, the 2 AMGs, first and second. The Civic Type R of Liam and the Renault Megane of Adam coming in third and fourth. Original John in the lead Golf GTI. That's a 151.6 fastest lap for him, with Groot in the other Civic just behind him. The M2 of Evil Dragon, no higher than 7th. The first time an M2 has not been in the top 3 all evening. In fact, top 6 all evening. Focus for Harding in 8th. Dash in 9th in that McGann Trophy. Mr. Graham himself, who was so dominant early on and feels a bit hard done by. He clearly feels he got tapped. I'm not sure he was. In that M2 in the 10th. Gaz Monkey in the other Golf in 11th. Civic Type of Captain Sloat in 12th. And sticking in the race pays its dividends because Mr. Creed in his Focus ST did not finish. That was a bit fucking good, wasn't it? How about that then, fellas? Who did not dislike that? That was pretty good. Obviously, I don't usually do this. This is I'm stepping in for somebody who couldn't make it, that usually does their broadcasts. But I'll tell you what, I can't wait to have another go at this. This was absolutely awesome. All that's left to say is thank you for joining me this evening. This has been the Full Throttle Racing BTCC, or British Touring Car Championship League. Rounds 1, 2 and 3 from Watkins Glen in New York. This is Throttle Racing TV. I've been UrbanPyrate, and it's been emotional.